Hello, welcome to My Life in Spain. My name is Mark, and today I'm going to show you a really simple midweek meal which the whole family will enjoy. Now sadly these days people don't cook like they used to do. It's too easy to get ready-made meals, takeaways, delivery, and you're wasting a lot of money. You could be eating much better at home using simple ingredients. Now what we're making today is corned beef hash, which uses potatoes, onions, corned beef, sunflower oil, and Worcestershire sauce. That's all there is to this dish. And then at the end, we put a fried egg on top. It's so simple and so easy to do, and it doesn't cost you much money. The corned beef, for example, was like €5. If you're in Spain, you might have trouble finding this in some supermarkets. The best place to go is probably Carrefour, or you can go to any international store. I got this from a Dutch store in Alves del Pi down on the coast. All right, so let me prepare everything. I'll get it all cut up and diced and show you what it's going to look like, and then we'll start cooking. So be back in a few minutes. Bye. Okay, all our ingredients are prepped except for the corned beef. Now these are the potatoes diced, small pieces, and I want to cut the corned beef around the same size. I do hate these fiddly tins. Let's get it this way. Now this corned beef is from Brazil. I think 90% of corned beef these days comes from Brazil. Back in World War II, corned beef was a luxury during rationing in the UK. And most of the corned beef they got, which they looked upon as being a treat, came from Fray Bentos in Uruguay. But today, Brazil is the world leader in corned beef. Knife here. There's a secret to that. A lot of the times the corned beef will get stuck in the can, but a little tip for you is put this in the refrigerator overnight and it should just fall out like that one did. Okay, so now we want to cut this to a similar size as the potatoes. While I'm doing that, I'm going to turn on the water because we want to part boil the potatoes for like 5 or 6 minutes. It won't take long because they're very, very small. Now some people even mash their potatoes and mash everything together, which I don't really like to do. The reason it's called corned beef hash. Hash is simply the English word from the French word for hacher, which means to cut up in small pieces. Okay, now you got the idea. I'll get back to you when the potatoes are cooked and we start frying them. Okay, now we want to start frying the potatoes. Make sure they're well drained though, you don't want any water. And we'll put it on like 8. So we want the oil fairly hot. This is sunflower oil I'm using today. So what we do now, we'll put one piece of potato in. And when it starts to fizzle, we know that we're ready to go. Okay, so now that the potatoes are starting to get a little bit of color, it's time to add the onions. Now the potatoes I use for this are Spanish ones, they're called Mona Lisa. But when I was in the USA, I used to use Yukon Gold potatoes. If you're in the UK, you can use Maris Piper. So once the onions are translucent, we'll add the corned beef. That'll just take a few more minutes. Okay, so now we'll add the corned beef. Give it a good mix. Take the temperature down a little bit. Take it down to 7. Now I like to leave it now. I don't like to keep stirring it because what I want a little bit of a crust to form on the bottom. Kind of like a paella. There's a nice crust on the bottom. It's lovely. So I'll leave that for a little bit. Okay, it's been cooking for a few minutes now without me stirring it. So now it's time to stir it a little bit. And we add some seasoning. Black pepper. A bit more. And a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. To give it a little bit of umami. Now you notice I didn't add any salt. And the reason I didn't do that is because the corned beef is salty already. So what you want to do is, when it's coming to the finish, just give it a taste and see if it needs any salt. It probably won't. Okay, this is looking good. So now what I want to do is put a fried egg on top of it. Okay, then we put a little bit of vegetable oil, sunflower oil in a frying pan. Up the heat. When it's ready, we're going to put a fried egg in it. Or we're going to fry an egg in it, sorry. Now this is a trick I learned. Once every 4 times I'll crack an egg, I'll put it in the frying pan and I'll break the yolk in one of the eggs. So what I do now, I put it in a bowl first and then I just pour it in from the bowl. It's much easier, so it's a good trick to learn. Okay, the oil's ready. Put in the egg. Cover it. This way the yolk cooks a little bit. I get my corned beef hash. Put it in a bowl. This looks done. Put that on top of the corned beef. Cut the egg. As you can see, nice and runny. Exactly the way I wanted it. Let's give this a taste again. It didn't need any salt, by the way. Absolutely yummy. This is a perfect, simple, easy midweek meal that all the family will enjoy. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on my next video. Please subscribe if you like these kind of videos. We'll be doing a lot more about Spain. We're going to do some more Spanish tapas too. Yum, super nice. Okay, bye for now.